another episode of Life Talks with me, Fawole. We have the wizard. I'm not feeling too good if you couldn't tell. And we have my brother from another mother. This gentleman is an amazing, excuse my French, motherfucker. Like, I love him to death. He's from the same village as me. You know what I mean? His energy is off the charts. His intellect, I respect it. He's just, I want to give him my accolades. His street cred for me, I fucking respect it too. His attitude towards life is just like, it's what's the word when you get addicted to someone else's attitude towards life? I can't think, what's the word, man? We have to find a word. What's the word? We have to find a word. No, you're actually...
Admirable?
No, it's not admirable. It's
Deeper
not admirable.
than that. I love that.
It's not admirable. I'm getting hot. It's not admirable. It's intoxicating. Yeah, it's intoxicating.
I can work with that.
It wasn't a word, but it's intoxicating. It's engrossing. Yeah, it's intoxicating.
Vice versa, my brother.
Come on. You know what I'm saying? He's from the manor. You know what I'm saying? He's an artist. He's a creative. The stuff he does, like, just came to light to me. Blows my mind. He's my brother, like I said at the beginning. None other than Maddix, a.k.a. Lee. Come on. Mighty. Come on.
I'm here. Said that I'll come, boy. I'm not going to play.
You like that introduction?
I can work with that, bro. That's the best one I've had.
Come on. The best one you had, yeah?
Yeah, because I ain't had no other ones.
You see what I'm saying already, man? So I'm saying, I'm hot, man.
What are you telling me, my brother?
Well, I'm telling you, I'm good. It's been a minute to get you down here still.
I know. I've been meaning to get down here. It's been nice because I feel like what will be nice today is that because I've had you on mine, due to come out very soon, don't get me wrong.
Real to Real podcast?
Real to Real podcast. I've had you on there. But yeah, just to switch up the role, see us in a different environment because we've known each other for a very long time.
Yeah.
And it's nice to sit down in this kind of environment and talk and, you know, put the world to rights, as they say. Just put it down, innit?
Come on.
Say what we've got to say. But yeah, I can work with I'm definitely a creative, definitely intellectual. I hope I show it on this podcast. But yeah, all is good, man. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be a part of what you're doing. You've been inspiring me for years, so just doing what you're doing with your podcast, with Life Talks, and always tune in when I get the opportunity. And it's very inspirational for me. I always inspired me, and always when I get a chance to come down and support you at your poetry event, and whenever I can get involved, I'm there. If I've got time.
Come on. All right, listen.
Not as many kids as you, but
here we go.
you know,
my ribs.
my fork can keep me pretty busy.
Easy. Come on. Here's we do how we live. And our blessings are our blessings, man. Let me ask you, who are you? If someone's asked you, who are you? What would be your answer? I want to digress into your childhood and what makes you the person you are today and what inspires you, where you come from, what you've been through and stuff. But if someone was to say to you, who are you? Who are you?
I know what my title is, but my title doesn't necessarily depict the person I am within. Now, my name's Lee, my surname's Maddix, but beyond that, that's, again, like I said, just a title. I come from a very strong kind of background. I had great, when I say great, I mean great grandparents and great parents. So I've got a strong identity of who I am. And I love who I am. I love being a British-born Jamaican, but beyond that, being a black man, an African black man that's got a journey just to be here talking to you in this language as an Englishman, if you want to call it that. But yeah, I'm a very proud person. I'm a very creative person, and I'm a person. I love people and I love talking, as you know. But life inspires me, and I feel like as we get older, you have to tap more into that about being inspired by life and the people that inspire me, like yourself and other people out there that are actually getting up and, you know, putting their shoulders to the wheel, so to speak. And but yeah, who I am is a happy-go-lucky, serious person. Yeah. That's me. That's me. I like to bring my best, put my best foot forward and bring my best to any table and be accountable within any environment. So, you know what I mean? If I always help and all of that, but I don't mind tapping into that maybe ghetto side where I can just lose it all and don't give a fuck at times. And that doesn't happen often, but I ain't scared of going down that dark side if I have to, kind of thing. And that's what's kept my balance, is that I don't get into road rage or any madness on the road. I've got no dramas on the street or anything like that. I'm a grown-ass man. I ain't got all that kind of. But I ain't scared to get into it.
Yeah, but you see, you know when you said that when you said, look, you're not scared to get into the ghetto side of the thing, and I said we're road, and I said something like that. Like I just had an epiphany, like, of the different kind of lifestyle certain people live. Because we was born where we was born. Certain people are born where they're born. Their opportunities are what they are. Absolutely. The things what they're exposed to are what they are. And it can be called road or the ghetto and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Different.
And some people, we can call it the jungle. And like 100%. we're more than animals that were born in the jungle where we had to fight and survive.
It's an urban environment, bro, and there's a lot of people around us at all times. There's usually a man behind this wall, behind that wall. It's like fucking the rats in the walls, bro. You don't get no privacy in London, and you're always dealing with different people. So as I said, it's a case of always trying to put my good foot forward. But sometimes you get faced with negativity out in London, in most big cities and most environments. So I embrace that stuff. I don't shy away from those elements of reality. It's that shit happens.
You know, it's for me, what I'm saying, Lee, right? Well, I think from what I'm getting from what you're saying now, is you've got that in you, same as me. But then you got, let's just say for argument's sake, in the analogy that I'm writing or saying, that we come from the jungle, the darker parts of the jungle where we had to survive and fight.
100%.
But people that come from, like, I don't know, the lighter parts, like the savannah, people that come from the mountains, and they live more of a sheltered life.
100%.
And they've got the opportunity to, they're not fighting for their life all the time. No. So they've got the opportunity to kind of explore and exercise certain other parts, facets of their personality and so on and so forth. 100%. However, you and I, if I say it so myself, have come from this environment but are still rubbing shoulders with the same people because we're still managed to exercise those other facets of our personality. 100%. Well, there's people around us that haven't, not being derogatory to anyone or anything, but some people haven't. They've gone down the road of drugs, whatever, mental health, so on and so forth. That life has taken over them. Yep. And the same in the other arena. Yep. But like for me, why I respect you, why I respect you too, but not when your phone goes off during the interviews. Wizard! Is you embody that. Junior too. We embody that.
Have to.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Got no choice. I feel
if there is people, we can see plus around.
Yeah, no, I get that, but ultimately, if you want to,
that's the word I wanted from before. Inspiring.
I love that. If you want to be able to just be more than just what your neighborhood causes you to be, kind of, or where you come from, or the environment. We all come from big estates with lots of other freaking lions and freaking wolves and all kind of beasts and hyenas and donkeys, all of the whole shebang. Monkeys, and if you want to, I haven't moved from where we are now pretty much for 40 years. I've been in this area. I haven't moved out of this area. So I know a lot of people, and not everybody gets access to me. Yeah, hi, bye, whatever. But I'm very kind of selective with the people that get access to me. Listen, we've all lived a certain life and come through certain arenas, so to speak. I've had to pass through certain, but ultimately I feel like I don't care what you do on a 9 to 5, but you know, everybody has to survive, and I get that. So there's things that people do that I wouldn't agree with, this, that, the other. But generally, the only way that I will lock off people and not have time for them more than a high and a buy is that they're not aspiring to be a little bit more than they can. So that's where a lot of the time where I keep people on a higher level is that you're not doing nothing. And a lot of people, everybody's got talents that they could be doing that a little bit more. So I understand that, as you said.
Can we pause?
Go on.
My learned friend said everyone's got talents. Use your talents, nurture your talents.
100%.
Find out what your talent is. Just do it. Put the bottle down, put the spliff down, put whatever's holding you back down and just try and push. Sorry.
100%.
Go on.
So yeah, there's people that don't try to be a little bit more than their environment supposedly kind of tells them what to be. I feel like a lot of the time that's what I feel, and that's what's in me, is that I can walk in any walk of life. I can be down Finsbury Park with the crackheads chatting to them, and I could be up in Highgate talking to the fucking to the so-called, you know, people with money or whatever, if people want to call them posh lot or whatever, you know what I mean? But I don't. There's no limits to where I can go in the conversations that I can have.
It's who you are.
That's who I am.
So who you are, you fit in everywhere.
100%.
So tenacity and confidence. What was you like as a kid?
Me, I was kind of, when I was younger, I was pretty. I'm a soft person. I've got a lot of compassion, but I had to grow up kind of quick to understand that.
You're soft but hard.
Life, yeah, you know,
Pause.
life. You can, a bit like what I'm teaching my son at the minute, is that you can be gentle and be compassionate, but the world isn't like that. So you have to toughen up. And I had to toughen up quick. I had to have a few fights, punch up a few people, as you do when in primary school, even before I reached secondary school. But I come from an environment where I saw a lot of things that I realised my peers hadn't seen, but they're talking a lot of talk when we're smoking and whatever and chilling. I thought none of their fathers were like my father. Like, none of them. Some of them never had fathers, so no disrespect to them. But a lot of their mothers definitely weren't like my mother, or definitely. So I kind of come from that environment of like.
What were they like?
My parents. My parents are beautiful people. I lost my mum 9 years ago now.
Rest in
My
peace.
dad's still here. He's still striving on, doing his thing. But I come through a very real environment. I'm a product of my environment. I am that guy, innit? I'm not gonna go too deep. I'm not gonna bait.
Cool,
I'm not gonna be baiting up my old man. But both my parents are they're grafters. They work very hard. But my dad was very brave, and he done some crazy stuff when he was younger. And
So
I see that
Yeah.
very young. But I moved to North when I was 6. But I'd seen things that most people haven't seen. When I was in South, they haven't seen to this day.
Yeah. But when I ask you that now, when I say to you elaborate, I don't want you to elaborate on that, on what you're talking about. I want you to elaborate more on the values and morals that your parents instilled in you, for you to say what you're saying, because that comes from somewhere, and that's, you don't,
100%.
you can talk about it,
To
you know what I'm saying?
stand up for yourself, and to not just to stand up for yourself, but stand up for other people. My parents were very much that, is that they would go out of their way to stand up for others and look out for other people. And that my grandparents were a bit like that as well. So I come from a big family on my dad's side, and not a tiny family on my mum's side, but my dad's side's big and they're close. There's 8 of them. And I've got another auntie in America, so there's kind of 9 of them, kind of 8 and a half, if you want to call that.
Really?
But I come from a very, very strong Jamaican family who look out for one another, because they've only known how to look out for one another because there were so many of them in the house.
They understood the assignment.
So yeah, they understood the assignment, and we are very friendly and caring. But my dad was maybe the black sheep out of the family. You know what I mean? His parents were very hard grafters, pretty typical Caribbean story, Windrush grandparents. My nan was a nurse, and my granddad worked on the trains. He ran Clapham Junction Station until his retirement. So he was the head man in Clapham Junction, that was the biggest station in Europe, I think, up until whenever. So, but he ran that, like changing the lines and all that, pulling them levers and all that. So yeah, pretty traditional British Jamaican story in the second generation of what I see is maybe the same as most people. But as I said, my old man was a bit of a black sheep, and I'd been to maybe every jail in London before I was 4 or 5, numerous times. In fact, there was times where I see Brixton or Wandsworth and it'd be like, that's Dad's house, sort of thing. So, and I know my old man, but he was young. My mum was 19, my dad was 21 a few days after I was born. So they were kids when they had me. So I've watched him live his life. Now I'm in my 40s, and he's in his 60s. But yeah, a very strong, a lot of backbone, no jellybacks in my family. You know what I mean? We're the real deal, and I stand on that. But that don't just come from me. That comes from the values that was installed in me. And my mum being Jamaican English, her dad was very much quite famous. He used to sell his weed and whatever. My mum's dad and people like Bob Marley, Marvin Gaye have been known to come to my granddad's house to meet my granddad, because my granddad was a legend. So, and that's factual, and that's documented, well documented, that those people came to my granddad Ricky's house. So I come from a very strong a very strong and proud black family I come from, and I stand on that. But I was a very soft kind of call you, but I had to thump up some people to get. And you know what I mean?
All right, let me ask you this then, yeah? So, being the man that you are and everything, when you was younger, how did you deal with your first heartbreak? Because you know, like we as men, like I know
that happened so young to me.
Yeah,
It was like in primary
literally,
school. But I just found with that it was a case of when I look back now, it wasn't heartbreak, even though it felt like that. I was under the age of 11.
with a heart flick.
Yeah, you know, one of them ones.
Flick at the chest.
But what I found for me, it was always a case of.
But wait, isn't it relative though?
Say that again?
Isn't it relative?
Oh yeah,
If you felt heartbroken at the time, you was heartbroken.
100%. But I feel like when you realise, that's when you're realising what you feel love is.
Yeah.
Up until all the way through primary, I was a little bit of a gallus when I was younger. Them loved me.
Even if you do say so yourself.
Yeah, I'm saying, even as a kid, I'm not saying what I was like. I'm just saying that I've always, because I had a good mother, I was always
fresh,
attracted to women. I think because I had my mum, I used to cook with my mum, and you know what I mean. I was around my mum a lot in the house, kind of before I hit the roads at maybe 11 or 12.
You know how to conduct yourself around a woman.
Yeah, and
That's
I love female energy. I love it. I've had the good grandparents, whatnot. So I think it's a case of girls resonate or whatever. They you know, they come to me. When I was younger, I hung around with a lot of girls. When some of my pals, where you going? I'm with the girls. You know what I'm saying? I've been with the girls and whatnot. Yeah. So I really realized that for me it was like, yeah, girls like me, but I had to that part I had on smash from young. But I had to get on my street thing a bit more in regards to, and it sounds crazy, but I just mean like I had to toughen up a little bit from about the age of about 8 to about 11.
Why?
Because there were some rougher kids than me that I grew up with. And I had to thump up quite a few of them.
But then I was going to really ask you why, because if you're good with the ladies, other people don't like that. Some people don't like that.
Yeah,
so that's
you get all of that.
As well.
Sweet boy, the little sweet boy, this, that, that.
And they want to move you up.
Yeah, but going back to the heartbreak thing, I just realised that things hurt for a minute, innit? The biggest heartbreak I've had in my life was when me and my ex broke up. And it wasn't a heartbreak from her. It was a heartbreak of not seeing my own children. Now, I believe that as I've got older and I've been with a girl for this amount of time, that amount of time, that hurts for a minute. But the minute I'm a man who can just switch my brain. It's like, it hurts that I'm not seeing you because I've been with you for so long. But the minute I say I don't want you, see you later. You're out the door. It's always been a mental switch for me. It's that I'm pretty much very good at turning on and off my feelings naturally.
What advice would you give to anyone out there right now, or who's going through that? Because some people go through that, right, and they haven't got the emotional intelligence to understand like this. Life still goes on past here. Some people take their lives over heartbreak.
My advice would always be love yourself first. And if you're in any relationship, that is the core foundation of any relationship, is that you can't make nobody happy. Whether you're a man and a woman and a man, whatever your situation is that you have to love yourself first and know, one, what you bring to the table, and two, that if they leave, I'm still cooking a roast dinner on Sunday on my own, the whole chicken. You understand me? And my clothes will be washed and they'll smell just as good. When you get out of that, just come out of that mentality that, because a lot of the time it's dependency in relationships. You're in a relationship exactly. And it's like, she does this for me. How am I going to cope? How am I going to... Even a relationship I'm in right now is that I'm married now, but women that can be flighty. I'm not saying my wife is, because she's not. She's far from it. She sees us going all the way to death. You get what I'm saying? And that's what Samantha.
Bless you, Samantha.
And that's what we're about as what we represent. But I always reserve that little piece in my heart that if they turn around and say, yo, I don't want to be with you no more, maybe a lot of the time it could be due to your own actions or something like they've had a change of heart. And it's like, yo, this is over. It's calling time. You know them ones? It's like that you reserve but you reserve that dignity and you reserve that pride within yourself to say, okay, all right, I've got to make it on my own from this point out and be able to do that. So I always reserve that there's always that part of me where I kind of hold back, possibly, even in my current relationship. If she turned around today and said, I'm leaving, I'm walking out, that I can, within the shortest possible time, get myself back on
still
track.
damaged, of
Pretty
course.
fully damaged because they've got kids involved, and because I love the woman that I'm with. But ultimately, as I said, just make sure you love yourself first. That would be the first advice that I'd give anybody. Love yourself first, because they can walk out at any time, but don't walk out on yourself, innit?
Come on. I like that. What was school like for you? Like, you know, the girl stuff and all that, like academically.
Academically, I come out of school with hardly any GCSEs, and I just ended up going back and going working, and I was on the road and doing things. I'm just trying to speak without speaking, but I was doing all the stuff that I shouldn't have been doing at school and after school, like when I left. But I just knew how to navigate myself through that. But I didn't leave with any decent GCSEs. I left with a B in art, which is funny because I should have got an A, and I got an A in PE, which you can't even. I didn't think it was gradable. But when I took that home, I was hoping that saved me from getting some licks. I got an A and a B, you know, mum. Art and PE. Yeah, but everything else was like D's and E's, but I wasn't applying myself. And I smoked. I grew up in a house where both my parents smoked, and when you're smoking at them young ages, it makes it harder for you to concentrate. As such, we was talking about concentrating and weed before, and I just didn't apply myself. If I applied myself to anything in school, I would have done really well. But I've never let that kind of hamper my time after. I've always tried to do the best that I can. Now I'm out of school and do what I can.
Like, I know you said about the weed, but what other things you think might have been the reasons for you not, like, you know, like, you saw a
Applying
lot,
myself.
not applying yourself. You saw a lot of stuff for your dad when you was young.
Yeah,
but
but
stuff for me, like, just to not to answer your question for you, but for me, because of where you are now, you've got a creative spirit in you, and like in school, certain things, if it didn't appeal to me, even though I was smoking, not smoking, if it didn't appeal to me, and I'd go and find something else to do,
100%.
like my mind would wander. That's me. I can't answer a question for you.
Well,
You know what I'm
for me,
saying?
it was like all we just wanted to do was leave school, be with girl, and be do whatever we was with chicks. You get what I'm saying? Smoking weed and hanging around and cracking joke and listen to music. We come for a good time when it comes to music. Our school did. We come through jungle. We come through garage later on. We've come through a very good time. So there's always been great other pastimes, which kind of was music, girls, weed, clapping stuff, and making money and doing whatever it was that I was doing at the time. You know what I mean? That led on to other things, but it's a whole other story.
What's your fondest childhood memory?
My fondest, just my mum cooking, I think. Or I haven't got one particular.
What was you cooking?
Just my mum. Sundays in my house was my dad playing music, playing his 45s, pure reggae playing in the yard. Mum cooking a stew chicken and rice and peas. That used to wake me up. Just the chicken browning and reggae music playing. That's my fondest.
Revival, innit?
Yeah, just pure good vibes.
Yeah.
Real.
I can see it and smell it, you know that, innit?
Real blackish stuff. I'm still trying to replicate it in my own yard. Same kind of vibe, really. Can't really listen to hip hop with the kids. A lot of it you can, but a lot of it you can't with young kids and impressionable kids. But yeah, making sure that we try and cook some traditional kind of Caribbean grub with an English woman now, but she's a hell of a cook. And she can put her hand to most things. So yeah, I eat a lot of Caribbean food in my house. Hardly ever see me in a Caribbean shop unless you really don't want to cook and want to eat Caribbean. We kind of generally cook. My missus learned, English girl, she can cook. And she ain't the only one that I've ever known. I've known many a English girl, whether they're English, to being Caucasian English, if you want to call it that.
Why?
Who can cook? Yeah, but it's because they've chose to learn. Just like anything, if you wanna learn it, you will learn it, innit?
I don't. Although
Excuse
there
me.
is such thing as colour, like if I look at you and I look at this, it's two different colours.
100%.
There isn't. I don't really see that like in people, because I've seen people from all different nations exercising the same energy. If you get what I'm saying,
100%.
all exactly the same kind of energy,
100%.
and then vice versa. And exactly what you're saying, like
100%. I've got a white nan or an English nan. I've got an English nan. So for me, that's kind of made me help. Like I'd say, what helped me be able to walk into a lot of environments is that I didn't feel excluded because I had white family. When I was really young, my nan would take me to her parents, my great grandparents, and they was as white as they come, proper English family. So having that balance, as much as I've grew up in a very pro-black environment, my mum being mixed race, if you want to call it, which I don't really like that term, but yeah, of mixed heritage, is that I had a bit of both walks of life. So I had my nan going, went down the shop and this happened and that happened and you know what I mean? So if you if you have that, and not just because she's white, because there's a lot of, especially in this generation, is that time's gone so far, you could be deep Nigerian and that's how you talk, or deep, like I've got uncle who comes from Jamaica and he's mostly the most Cockney uncle that I got, but he was born in Jamaica. But him is proper like, what's happening? All right. He didn't even come here till he was 11. You know them ones. Like, he come here with, so I don't see it like that now, but I feel like back then, going back to when my parents was in their 40s, maybe going back 20 years or something like that, is that the environment was, the terrain was a bit different then, you know what I mean?
What,
It's like,
in London?
no, I'm saying in the UK, in regards to...
Very different, bruv. Even
different because of the mixing of
how old
cultures
was you?
now.
How old
Does that
was
make
you
sense?
when they was that age?
My mum and dad's only 20 years older than me.
So
My
when they was
parents.
20?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, and then going back, because for me, like you had the white nan, and you had exposure to that world, even more entrenched than most of us. But
Yeah,
even me
but-
growing up in London, same thing. Like I think growing up in the diversity of London, I had good white friends that I go to their house. Back in the day, you go to
100%.
people's houses. Asian friends, you go to
Yeah,
different, like
100%.
other African nations, Jamaican friends, I
The
go
best.
to. That's how I know about the Sunday food cooking and the music playing. You know what I'm saying?
The
Like,
best. You know, I feel like growing up in our environment for me has been nothing but amazing. I feel like London could be like I think London's mostly one of the best places, not due to fucking the governments or this, that, other, but due to the people. And you kind of feel like maybe as I get older, I get a bit more cynical, but you've got a lot of different people coming in who don't really want to interact. They're just here for the money or this, that, other. But I feel like going back to when we was growing up, going back a few years ago to them times, we all just wanted to be the same. Everybody, the white boys wanted to be involved in what we was doing. We wanted to be involved in what they were doing. And it just made a better place and it created decent humans where, as you said, I don't really see colour like that. There's fuckery, excuse my term of phrase, there's fuckery in all kind of colours. So some of my black friends let me down more than some of my white friends. Some of my, you know what I mean? So I don't look at it like as a colour thing. I feel like where colour really kind of matters is that people of colour have been disenfranchised due to history. And history is why we have to stand up as people and be proud of what was eradicated and erased of our history and the greatness that we are. But everybody else has got greatness in their culture. I never say that, black people got more greatness than Europeans. Yeah, Europeans done their thing, this, that, other. Chinese man done their thing, Indian man done their thing, everybody done their thing, but we've had to stand up within a different environment as black people and say, yo, we've been put down for so many years since slavery was ended, where they wouldn't turn around and say, yo, black men are lazy, this, that, the other. It's all a load of fables and bullshit because we stopped working for fucking free. Let's put it that way. So there's a lot of stigma with being a young black man, and a lot of there's a lot of stigma being a young black man, and it's something that we've had to stand up and say, yo, no, what are you talking about? We built this. We built it must have been the aliens. Sucker. I don't want to hear none of these. You understand me? That we've got great accolades and we should be very proud of who we are as people of colour. And that's why colour means something to me. Because to me, it's about, we're just people. We got different colour skins. If it's all exactly the same colour, it'd be a bit whack, innit? So, but really, we all come from the same freaking one black woman who, you know what I mean, Cheddar Man and everything there, whatever, when the first one to come over here. But what I'm trying to say is that we all just come from one fucking tree. We just happen to be slightly different in our cultures and in our skin colour and stuff like that. But I'm very pro-black. Not that that's what we're talking about, but I'm very pro-black. But in the context of is that we've just come out of slavery not too long ago. There was segregation when I was in primary school, freaking in South Africa, when my parents were born in the UK in the 50s. there was still shit going on. People being hung in trees down south in Alabama and places like that.
Now,
so what I'm saying is that we're not that far removed from the 400 years of fuckery that happened to us, but now we're fighting against more of the stigma and the stereotypes that have gone after slavery ended, and fighting against that whole, or fighting to prove that we're more than we've been labelled. We're there just
but you know the wickedest thing for me though, Lee, yeah? It's just everyone knows that we're more than what we've been labelled in pertaining to black people. 100%. And that's the reason that the shroud or the thing it's like it's a constant put down. You're still trying to hold people down because you know the potential of this particular race of people. So they know. Yeah. I think that for me, there's two things I want to talk about, but for me, like, even though I do see colour because I'm a human being, innit? I can't not see the colour. But I really more see your fucking frequency.
Yeah, you can.
You know what I'm saying? If your frequency's wrong now, like, if your frequency's wrong, I can't do it.
100%.
Like, and I can see, you know, like, and it might not be so straight, but there's certain, you know, like, if I feel the frequency, it's off, it's off. And that's it. It doesn't matter where you're from, what colour or whatever. It's a frequency thing.
We're born, you know, like, when we was younger, it'd be like, white people in the UK are lucky to be born white, because you could be Irish, but you get along better in the UK being white. Yeah. Yo, we're lucky to be black. You understand me? Let's have it right. We ain't got nothing to be worried about. All right. The only thing is that we're not in a black environment. We're in a mixed environment, being London, but that's not England on the whole. But at the end of the day, I'm just lucky to have this because my parents were. You understand me? So it's a luck. I could have been born white. Would I be upset that I was white, or would I be walking around with full sense of manhood and pride that what you're talking about, this is my country and all of that shit? You understand what I'm saying? So it's all luck, bro. It's luck that we were born in this skin. Yo, it's luck, bro.
I'm blessed. Yo, I'm blessed. I'm blessed
to be blessed. I'm happy with that. I can work with that. Thank you.
I couldn't.
Thank you very much.
I'll take that. I'll be black. You know, like, I couldn't imagine anything else, though, bro. I couldn't imagine nothing else.
Nor could I.
But you know what you said about being cynical and the way the world is now? I think it's just when we came up, it was just different. Like, people had different values, there was different stuff going on around us. And it's just the evolution of the environments we're in, you know what I mean? Like,
100%.
And it's just, people are more disconnected in London.
Yeah.
But there is still pockets of beautiful people. There's still places like where you can link up with people and do certain things if you're aware of it. We done a barbecue last year. A lot of people come down. It was nice. It reminded me of the old days.
Yeah.
So it's still out there, but I think it's on us in our generation to create things like that.
Definitely.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
When we was young, there was things like that.
I think it's a case of, do you know what it is? It's a case of maybe the same thing that the white English were talking about or worried about was having a load of gollywogs come to their country. What's it gonna turn into? True. But ultimately, we don't spend enough time on integration when it comes to immigration.
Human beings, everybody.
Is that we've just letting a pile of people up in here, but people don't necessarily want to be a part of what is here. The difference is that when your parents or grandparents, maybe because they're Christian or whatever, but there was a lot of, they wanted to be, this was mother country to them. You understand me? So there's this element of wanting to come here and do your best because it's maybe a place where they thought was better than where they come from. Whether it's true or false, in some ways I know it was true. They've been able to create a better life for themselves and not so much poverty, but they wanted to be a part of this. And I feel like the problem now is that a lot of people don't want to be a part of this. They're just coming here to rinse the system and you know what I mean? My Alf Garnet coming out in me, boy. Little old white man.
It's not even. If you don't know what it is, go and research it.
Send them back home. No, but you get what I'm saying. I feel like there's an issue with that. I feel like we wanted to be one. Now it's not that. Everybody wants to, don't really want to be one, and that's the difference. I could be wrong. I see a lot. Maybe we were very lucky coming out of this, where we coming out of North London. I found it was very good for integrating because you
does stuff around us,
you
yeah.
weren't inundated with bare Indian man, or you weren't inundated with bare. There was a lot of Irish people, a lot of Greek people, a lot of black people.
You do sound like Afghani right
Yeah,
now.
no, I'm saying no, but hear what I'm saying is that boom, go anywhere, go Golders Green and it's pure Jewish people. You go Green Lanes, it's bare Turkish people. I'm not saying, but then you've got other pockets where people don't want to speak English, and they don't want to communicate in English, and they don't want to be a part of this thing that we have helped build for them to even come here in the first place. You understand what I'm saying?
I think we're close to West End as well, but like you're saying, there is that. I didn't even look at that before, like, because in America they got all them things there, like Little Italy, Little Chinatown, this, that.
Right.
But I didn't realise we actually do have those. We had those come, like, because Golders Green, like you said. Green
Yeah, we've
Lanes,
got those things, but
Brixton,
100%.
like we had the.
Our shit gets gentrified. Black people's spots get gentrified because they might have moved in at a time or where.
But no, you can't. Hey, well, what you just say, working class.
Yeah, well,
It wasn't just all blacks in these places that got gentrified.
No, it wasn't.
We're working. I would call it working class.
But also, look, Brixton ain't black no more. Brixton's just got remnants of black people now.
Yeah, but Brixton was working class. It was very
100%.
concentrated
But
black.
look at the size of the houses there. The houses are like not houses in Notting Hill. Man's got 12-foot ceilings and all of that. You get what I'm trying to say? So it was only a matter of time where people with the house prices, the people with the money, are gonna claim back their yards. You get what I'm saying, man? That's how I see it. So it's not saying so much gentrification, but we came in, and there's a big story behind that. Is that there was one man, if not maybe a couple, of Caribbeans who helped my grandparents' generation get their first properties. And they generally came to Brixton because this brother was in Brixton who helped them. So that's why enough black man came to Brixton. Okay. And that's how Brixton, and then you got, your Tottenhams, your Dalstons, you know what I mean?
It makes sense.
But there was these pockets of areas where it started. Finsbury Park, where there was high numbers of Caribbean people, and then became higher numbers of African people, and then other cultures coming in. But if we don't control our things financially, then it's easy for them to take them away and just move you out to, as they have done in Brixton. Everybody's out in Croydon and beyond. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes if you don't hold on to the good things that you got, i.e. the properties that your parents own, but all the kids can't get on, I would sell the house and split it up. And now you look at Brixton for what it is, so it hasn't really got the culture that it used to have. Yeah, you can go Brixton Market, there's West Indian restaurants and this one and that one, and you can still buy your okra and your hard food and certain things, but Brixton on the whole ain't like when I was in South.
Money's going to the other people, though.
Yeah,
Money's going to someone else, a person who
saying.
money goes who's not going to. What was definitive time for you that you clicked and said, okay, I want to do photography and visual arts and this is me, or I can do this. I'm gonna really put my foot in this. Because you're really good at what you do.
I went to college in 2000. I went back to college in 2011, I think it was, City in Islington, and it's only a 1 day a week course. I was still, if you want to call it, on the roads, but still hustling and whatever to.
Why'd you go back?
To provide for my family. I'm saying in 2011, but I had this 1 day a week course. Somebody said to me, "Lee, you take great photos." I used to always buy hot cameras of people, hot stuff. That was just who I was. If you bought something to me and I thought I could make money on it, but I ended up.
He bought it in the summertime, guys.
But I used to buy bait stuff a lot, and ended up with some nice cameras over the years. Take them on holidays and this, that, that, other. And people always used to say to me, "Lee, you take good photos." So it was kind of, that was maybe a turning point for me to be able to say, "Yo, all right, let me go to college and study this digital media thing for a little while." Now, a lot what I learned on that course I already knew, because I'm a self-taught kind of person. I'll pick up something and I'll learn it until I know it. That's the kind of person I am. I'm interested in it. And I've never been afraid of investing in myself. I don't mind if the equipment costs a lot of money. I will save and buy that equipment if that's what I feel like I can feel my passion going towards that direction. So, about 2011, I went and done a diploma in digital media in City in Islington, because people had said to me that I take good photos. So I understood that I was good at framing shots, but then it was a case of learning how a camera works in regards to, just the technicality aspect of cameras.
I'll ask you a question, yeah? but remember where you are, please.
Of course.
If you was given that opportunity when you was younger, when you were smoking weed, doing all the stuff you was doing, do you think you would have applied yourself as much as you applied yourself post like having your family and being on road and looking for more things to do? Do you think it was the right time?
No, because I come from a household that was very against the system. My dad's a very rebellious type, and he's always if it's not in the music, it's in the things that come out of his mouth. He's very anti-systematic. So as much and that's what made it kind of maybe hard for me in school, is that my parents was telling us Columbus was a liar and a thief and whatever, but then saying go and do your books, which kind of made no sense to me. It's like, well, you're telling me that what they're teaching me, it kind of is the opposite of what you lot are teaching me, but I get it now. You lot wanted me to get the grades in order so I could have a better life, but ultimately contradiction.
But also, they could have wanted you to understand the nature of the liar's lies.
100%.
Against the truth. So
100%. But I don't think they got that then, being in there when they was in their 30s. They didn't get, they're just saying what they're regurgitating what their parents go to school and
but that's
go and do your
behind
books.
it though.
But now, when I look back now, I understand that. It makes sense. But, so no, I don't think, but I had a very rebellious father and quite a rebellious mother. As much as they knew how to toe the line and have businesses and work and all of those different things, but they were very anti the system. And I get that. So I grew up in that environment. So I don't think I would have just listened at school, because when the teacher's telling me one thing, I'd be putting up my hand saying, no, but that ain't true, miss. I heard this, that, I'm like, Lee, get out of the class.
So we're going to go back to the college thing in a minute. But like, what do you think of the system now?
I don't trust I don't trust the system, bro. I'll be honest. I'm very anti-systematic myself. I have to have insurance on my car. I have to pay my rent. You know what I mean? I know that I have to toe the line, but boy, do I bend the rules.
Yeah, but
I bend them so much that I bend rules.
So we're gonna go back to the college thing.
And the ones that I can break, I do.
You broke them
up into pieces.
So then, if we look at,
sorry.
So we look. That's what I'm saying. So if we look at like what your dad was doing and what you're doing now, you couldn't even though you're a product of your family. This is your own. This is you against the system that is now. It's a different system, innit? Do you get what I'm saying?
100%.
But you share the same values and stuff.
100%. They say that apple don't fall far, and me and my brother and my sister, we're very much a product of our home environment, which has created the people that we are. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't think none of us are very none of us work like for the home office, or like have got top tier jobs, and we all have a very similar mentality to my sister runs her own business, my brother runs a few of his own businesses, but yeah, we're not systematic people. We're not people to just toe the line, and I don't think I could ever go back and after my journey to get me to where I am now, don't think I could go and work a 9 to 5, bro. I don't think I've got to this age now. I'm like, that's never gonna happen again. Working a 9 to 5. I've always been a hustler. I was just hustle differently now. You know what I'm saying?
So in college 1 day a week. You
done my diploma. Finished it. As I said, 1 day a week for a year. Got out of that. Finished that. And decided to call myself a photographer. I was out having a drink in Hawley Arms one day. I was with my pal. As we was hustlers back then, 2011, hustling. Not gonna go into what I was hustling, but certain, contraband.
You just went in, bro.
But me and my pal was having a drink one day, and some chicks come up to us and goes, "Oh, I'm an editor at Rare." And it just clicked to me that day. It was about 2011. I was maybe still in college or out. Someone said to me, the only difference is that certain people walk around and talk it, and they've got a business card, and that was the difference. That made my head turn. I said,
you own that shit.
Yeah, bro. I think that week I set up my website, my photography website. I went and got some business cards made, and I started calling myself a photographer, and that's kind of that process. But again, that doesn't give me my bread and butter. As I said to your man here, Chris, before, is that the wizard? I said to him, I hardly make any money for my photography, but I don't have any hatred for that. It's what I love. It's my passion. I have to work 9 to 5, not for the man, but for myself, doing painting and decorating to pay my bills. Bro. So, but it is how it is. I don't that don't bother me.
Bro, you know
I'm not gonna throw my camera at the wall. Oh, I never make no money. It's never gonna happen.
I can't laugh, please. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to be as calm as possible because my chest is gonna open up. Certain people, they didn't get no money for their stuff when they was alive. It's when he was a genius. Oh my God!
I can see
wow.
Pay my kids, innit?
That's it.
Pay my kids.
Yeah. So, like, certain man will be famous once they're.
Oh, yeah.
So what you're doing, you just do you do it with passion. You enjoy what you're doing. It's fantastic. Like my poetry, having an outlet to do what I'm doing. It's not about money. If you want to come and pay me serious money for my work, I'm a serious artist. Come and pay me, innit?
Absolutely.
However, the primary objective is personal therapy.
100%.
There's different payments you receive in life, in the world.
He don't talk much, but when he talks, wow. Go on. Go on.
And that's what we're talking about.
And that's it as well, yeah. I'm going to go more into it.
Everything for currency,
Yeah.
you end up just being a pizza boy, basically.
Yeah, for real.
Everything's transactional.
Yeah.
100%.
Whereas you're doing this, which is paying
Dividends in a different way.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
If you didn't hear, because sometimes you don't hear on the mic, the wizard said there's different currency you get paid in the world. It's not always necessarily cash. Money, it's not always that, but you're getting paid, and the payment is fulfilling.
Yeah, for your soul. Your
Yeah.
soul.
Fulfilling.
And that's what for me, photography and videography, and prior to that, music was building tunes and whatever, producing. But
and some people,
go on, bro.
some people are empty there. And not even trying to be things. Some people are empty there. That's not to be bad. That's they're not their downfall, their problem, whatever. They can find that thing to fill that void. They won't be drinking or doing some other thing. There's this like
100%. And I don't knock people like
no,
that.
not at all.
But ultimately, I'm lucky that I found a passion of mine, as you have, you know, and it's something that I want to do daily, and it's something that doesn't matter if I get paid for it. So yeah, when it comes to that, but also we all want our accolade and somebody to recognise. But you know what I mean, if your kids, it matters the most if your wife or your husband or whoever it is, your partner, and your kids look at you and you inspire them and make them feel like they could be more than just working in whatever shop they work in or doing the mundane stuff to pay the bills and pay the king his ass taxes. And after, which I don't think he deserves anyway.
After I'll tell you, don't make me laugh, man. I beg you, please,
King, fuck your taxes.
No, come on. I want to quote someone, something I heard recently, that the most important thing is to make yourself happy.
100%.
So when you make yourself happy, your kids, your wife, and all them, their admiration and all that stuff comes through seeing you
happy,
genuinely happy.
Yeah, man.
So to make yourself genuinely happy is to do the things you're doing, like take the picture, look at the picture, know you did it. I'm a photographer. I took that picture. I like doing this. This is all of that. All of it is for you. 100%. It's for no one else. When anyone comes to know and enjoys a picture, fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing, wonderful,
Absolutely.
great. Tell me I'm good, great.
Yeah.
But primarily it's that, and that's why in my understanding, we will placate the financial gratification of it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the gratification for us is somewhere else, like we were saying, there's different dividends.
Yeah.
Like, and you can just look at it. When or what pieces of work have you looked at and it's taking your breath away? Because I've seen some of your stuff that takes me away. Do you know what I'm saying? I've seen some of your stuff. I like your kind of like you got this raw kind of thing you do with almost like, I think there's 8mm or something. You know, like there's a 9mm of camera thing where it looks like a film. Like when the Beatles are crossing Abbey Road. Like there's stuff you do like that.
Older stuff. Like,
and I like that stuff.
I spend a lot of time not replicating, but understanding how an image looks that way. Now, a lot of the styles that we've got right now are based off of film and older times gone by. Generally,
iconic stuff.
Yeah, generally in the 80s, there were certain cameras that was running things. Then prior to that, in the 70s, there was certain. So, you look back at us as babies with our little afros and whatnot, everything looks brown because sepia was running things then.
I've got pictures
Prior
of
to that, it was another look and feel.
I'm gonna start the picture in here.
When you start seeing the look and feel of times gone by, that's why now a lot of the youngsters they look trying to replicate the 80s look because that was their parents' time. They never lived through it. We lived through that.
Yeah.
We were there. We was like in our maybe just before our double digits.
But I've got pictures with that old wallpaper. Now, if you see on anyone's picture, you know
you
when
know
they took that
what
picture.
time,
They're old wallpapers.
Yeah, it's from
know.
1973 to
Yeah.
1978.
The
You
one
get
you
me?
can touch.
Any
like-
time between that, that them colours, there's a certain colour.
Yeah,
You know what time of man was
yeah.
born. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me it was about I haven't got a one particular shot, but I spend a lot of time understanding these different looks and feels, and not just necessarily replicating them. But when I'm out shooting, I kind of have an understanding of what direction I want to take it. So I don't know. It's not that I'm trying to create. Say, that needs to look like a set we've shot today, but I want to make it look 70s. That's not how I shoot. I go down. I kind of know what direction I'm going down with my images. Now, I love what I do, my street photography. I love that, but I'm at the moment I'm in a place where I'm trying to mix my street with portraits and what I've learned from doing street photography, and then bringing humans into that environment and shooting with the same naturality of what was going on in that environment before, rather than setting up stuff and all that, just putting you in the middle on the bridge in Camden or you know, on the high street in Dalston, and just getting that if you wasn't in the shot, it was still an interesting shot. Now you're in it doing your thing and making it look more. So that just mixing portrait with street. And I just done a shot with Selena, friend of ours, little sister, our friend or whatever. And I love the shots that I did with her in the Barbican Centre.
Nice.
Very pro-black, very Afrocentric, so to speak. She had her hair out and she looked very much like a revolutionary, but she had her kids with her. And there's a very urban environment. And
I think I've seen them.
those shots resonate a lot with me. But I got numerous stuff, but I feel like I don't give myself. I'm just ready to go on to the next thing all the time. With me, it's like because I think life's about learning, and they say you're only as good as your last shot. I don't know about that because you've got all your other stuff that you've done before that. You can't just go, all right, this one wasn't so good, but the ones before were.
It's all part of your
it's part of evolution, man.
Like it shows you where you was at that particular time.
100%. And as providing I'm learning, I don't look at it like that. You know what I mean? My last, you know what I mean? I get it that your last thing is what most people are looking at, but that don't mean shit to me. For me, it's like, look at my last 10 things, and then you'll see. You might not like that, but you'll like number 9 or number 7. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't stay still. I've got too much energy to stay still, and I'm not. As much as I'd always say to photographers, find your style and run with it. But I'd also say make sure that you're kind of loose with that. You can't just go, I like dark and gloomy images and go right down that route and then never try other styles.
Yeah, you never expand.
I feel like definitely find your style and run with it, but also stay loose within that. You understand what I'm saying? Don't think, I only like this. Because then when it comes to you not getting that, how are you going to freaking diversify your portfolio or whatnot? So just make sure that you're kind of going in one direction, but just zig and zag and bob and weave. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I've got a few that I love. Quite a few of my shots that I love, but I'm going to love a lot more that I've got coming.
Let's get some of these cards.
Say no more.
You pick some cards for yourself. Grab some cards for yourself. You got to pick them, man. They're mixed up. They're mixed. You can't read them. You just got to grab them and give them to me. When you grab them, thank you.
I done see a few of these cards that I was thinking to myself, yo, I ain't answering that on camera. How many you want? How many you got there? 3, 4?
Give me 5.
How many you got? 2 more you want?
3, yeah, please. Thank you.
See it there?
Thank you. Just so you know that the questions are on there. You don't ask that one. What was that one? Let me see what this one is. Hey. If you were a colour, what colour would you be and why?
I am a colour, innit?
I knew that. Everyone knows this.
The colour I am. I'm good with this colour.
All right.
What's it? Chocolatey?
Chocolate, yeah. You call it.
Kind of chocolatey colour.
Chocolate, yeah. Okay. Jolly good, sir. We'll go with chocolate.
And the reason
I
why
like
is
that.
because, you know, we run fast and we're quite clever and quite athletic. Girls like us.
Chocolate.
Chocolatey. I'll go with
Chocolatey. All right, so let's move on. You're gonna kill me. I told you I can't laugh, man. I swear you. If I laugh, my whole chest is gonna come out. If you were an animal, what animal would you be?
Well, I've resonated.
why?
There's a few animals that I resonate with, whether I was them in my past lives, because I do believe in past lives and connections to animals. Especially growing up in our day, we loved a lot of kung fu anyway. So tiger style and snake style, and you know, all them thing there. So we grew up watching them thing there. But I understand I resonate with certain animals. I was different. I can't say I was, but I definitely feel like there's some kind of lion or tiger or something in me. There's a bit of that. And the other thing is, funny enough, a meerkat.
I see it. Why?
A sentinel, you get me? I like to just stand up. I like finding my perch on the top and just checking over wagwan on the savannah, you get me? That's me. So yeah, one of those, maybe, yeah, but even a meerkat's got cat in the name. So yeah, some kind of cat. Whether a lion or a meerkat.
Wait.
Somewhere in between the lion and the meerkat.
Wait, the lion or meerkat, man. This guy wants to kill me today. So I'm not saying the next question. But meerkat, but you sure it's not because I see the new ones, the meerkat in Lion King and then the meerkats. Not the meerkats on TV. That's what
Yeah, I'm a sentinel. I like to be on top and just boop 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 boop. I like to be on top and just checking over what's going on. You get me? Just having a look over. Yo, bit of danger down there.
Yeah.
Careful, you lot.
Dying in the studio, man. This guy's killing me. The wizard in the back. Got man like,
Maddix.
come on, turn this thing around. The wizard again. You want me there? And of course, me, I Fawole live talks. You see it there? We're filming again. It's Monday. Right, next question. You're not gonna answer this question.
I will if I want.
Tell me something no one knows about you.
I'm very kind.
No. Interview coming out in a few months.
I don't know. I think people know me. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm too honest. So I'm kind, but I'm dangerous. And that's it. I'm very kind. Most people who don't know me close enough wouldn't know how kind I am. So I wouldn't say that, but people know I'm kind.
Yeah.
But I'm dangerous, but people know I'm dangerous too. You get what I'm saying? So,
what's the best advice you've ever been given?
oh, there's a few, but one that resonated with me a lot. It wasn't the best. It was one of I started meeting celebrities when I was going out a lot, and through photography, I've met few people when I've been doing gigs for the Times and certain people that I've worked for and found myself in different places. But once I met Suggs or whatever from Madness, and he said,
Suggs?
Suggs, and he said to me, which as I said, it's maybe not the best advice I've ever been given, but it resonated with me, was always leave a party when it's good.
When it's good.
And that to me resonated with me, and it makes up to this point still makes sense.
Let me get this
So
straight.
yeah, maybe not my best advice, but a very good quote, and I liked it a lot.
Always leave a party.
Always leave a party when it's good, innit?
I think
Don't leaving when it's done peaked. Yeah, when it's tailing off long, and it resonated with me that.
Oh, what's next for you?
Prosperity, happiness, and more money. Sure, most people want the same, but I'm trying to make sure that I can guarantee those.
What's the difference between prosperity and money?
You can be prosperous in many ways, but prosperity is quite a broad foundation, isn't it? A broad word to be using. Yeah, to be prosperous in all sorts of in everything, but definitely more money.
Yeah.
You can't have much less than I got right now. Anyway, so it's only going up. It's only one trajectory. No, I'm not broke, but I'm not. I'm full. My my pocket ain't full, but my life is full, and I've got everything I need. So it's a case of, for me, it's just about stacking up them savings, isn't it? That's really it for me. Savings, security, so to speak.
Security. Is there anything you want to talk about before we wrap up, sir?
Not really, man. I just
We'll
kind
touch on
of anything I want to touch on. Not really, man. I'm just happy to be here, Io, to be honest, and just be supporting you. And I'm happy that you've got me on here because it means that it went both ways. I think that you're a very interesting person, hence why I brought you on.
Appreciate
Very articulate, and also I just wanted to get you on mine because I knew we was gonna have we can have a good conversation, and I think it's very important for maybe the younger generations below us, and to say that you can stick to who you are but still do other things, not be caught up in the how people knew you from 10 years ago, 15 or 20 years ago. A lot of people still see me in that light of who I was. To be honest, I haven't changed who I am, but I'm morphing. You know what I mean? I'm still that person.
You're evolving,
but I'm evolving and morphing. But fundamentally, I'm identical to the 16-year-old I was jumping off roofs and doing mad shit. I'm still that same person because had a strong sense of self from really young. But I'm just always trying to be a better version of myself as I get into my 30s and my 40s. Just be that 40-odd-year-old Lee rather than that 30-year-old Lee. When I was in my 30s, not being that 20-year-old Lee. You know what I mean? So it's just good evolution, my brother. That's
very, very. I can wrap the show up on that, but the question is bugging me. I should wrap the show up on that. That was a very poignant, beautiful way to wrap up the show. If you know, just ask you about your chain. Because it's like, just talk about your chain. Where it means you.
Oh, before I grew up, I used to have a lot of gold when I was a baby. My dad being a bit naughty. But I used to have a lot of gold. On my old pictures, I had Nefertiti from a baby. About a good few chains and rings and everything because my dad used to buy me that kind of stuff when I was young. But one day, 9 years ago, before my mum passed away, we went to Camden Market to buy some crystals. And I bought this for my missus at the time, but it was kind of like, it wasn't for my mum. My mum was buying crystals, but it's kind of, my mum had cancer at the time. And we kind of been told that we was only going to have 6 months with her. So we went out to buy some crystals, kind of alternative healing and therapies and whatnot. And she wanted some crystals. But I picked this up for my missus. But kind of like, I kind of knew that it didn't really have the significance for her that as it did for me, being that I'd always, when I was young, before my yard got robbed when I was young for all our gold and whatever else, whatever. That I had a Nefertiti, and I remember that and how much it meant to me, being an African queen and whatnot. So, but when I got it, it was kind of sitting down in the house, and I couldn't remember. I used to have one of my mum's crystals on it, and it wasn't that I was thinking, did I buy it for my missus or did I buy it for my mum? And it was on something else, but it was never cleaned up. Silver, it was never cleaned up. But one day I just said, "Child, let me just clean this thing up and put it around my neck." I think it must be around the time my mum passed, and I bought this chain. And I thought it just fits on it. So that's I've always had a Nefertiti. From young I've had a Nefertiti. It's actually kind of more, there was a big chunk of my life where I didn't have one, but it's kind of just me. I'm supposed to have a Nefertiti because I had it when I was there and had it for the last 10 years or whatever.
Come on.
African queen.
Come on. Lee Maddix. My G.
Come on, brother.
You take my arm away. Fuck you know. It's live talk. I love you, bro.
I love you too, man. Always, man. It's been a pleasure.
Live talk. You can clap that.
Pleasure.
The wizard. With the phone going on.
The wizard.
Maddix in the house, man. One more time.
Come on.
My G.
Come on. Yeah, it was good, man. That
Come
was nice.
on,
Enjoyed that.
come on.
Really enjoyed it.